Hi, delighted to be chatting with you, Bernard. International
Hi.
best-selling and award-winning author of the Harem Saga. Myself and Steve Evans here.
Hi, Bernard.
Hi, nice to have you. To meet you.
Delighted to be meeting you.
And you. So you've had a bit of a long career and more places than anyone else we've ever chatted to. You've been Malaysia to the Royal College of Art in London, then working in London as a bridal wear designer for Liberty, then a professorship in Hong Kong, a professorship and a lecturer in Minnesota, then Singapore, then Hawaii on the island of Maui, the beautiful island, of course, and now you're in Orlando, Florida. That's some that's some amount of places, isn't it?
There are others in between. There are other places in between as well, because I was also working in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, for 2 years when my mother wasn't very well. That was back in 80. I can't remember now. 80, maybe 88. I think it was about 88, 1988. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have like multi-citizenship and passports for different countries?
Well, I'm British, so I hold a British passport. But I've just applied for American citizenship, and I think American citizenship allows dual citizenship, so I can be both American and British.
Okay. Is that same as a green card, or is that different?
No, it's a different. Currently, I hold a green card, which allows me to work here, but that doesn't allow me to vote.
Okay. Before we talk about your Harem Saga, which will be the main focus, can you tell us what you do to relax? Hobbies? I can see a sewing machine behind you. Is it fashion design related?
Oh, yes, very much so. I've been doing fashion since 9 years old. So I've a very long career. I've had a very long career. So, and it's because it's up and downs, as like most things.
Yeah.
So, but I'm enjoying my time here right now. Maui is very quiet. It's I was there because my husband was there. So I was basically waiting for him to get me out of that place. and now we're out of that place. I'm having fun here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So looking at your excellent website, there's some great images on there of lots of events that have happened in your life. So did you have like a privileged or a really happy childhood, and that reflects some of that, does it?
I would say I had a privileged childhood, but I don't know about a very happy one, because I had never gotten on with my father. He's one of those dads who wants all his sons to be macho boys, and I'm not exactly one of those. My mom was very loving, and she basically groomed me for the career that I have right now. Yeah, because I've already had 2 brothers, and both of them are relatively older than me. So she wanted a baby girl, but instead she got me. Which isn't bad, I think.
Yeah.
Because their relationship was not a very happy one. Father was seldom at home, and he was always with his mistress. So mom basically doted over me and gave me whatever I wanted, and enrolled me in ballet classes, art classes, piano classes, anything to do with the arts.
Okay.
My father was complete opposite. He wanted me to do judo, karate, martial arts, and I hated every moment of it.
All right. Well, so moving on to the Harem Boys saga.
Yes.
Is a lot of that related to you, like an autobiography or biography? What's the word?
Yes.
Biographical.
Biographical.
It's all biographical.
A memoir.
Yeah. It's both. It's an autobiography as well as a memoir, because you probably well know that autobiography follows a chronological order, which all my 5 books does. I stopped at 5 books because I thought if I wrote 7, it would become very boring.
Okay.
So I decided to stop at 5.
Yeah.
But I was in 7 different Arab households when I was in the Middle Eastern harems. So I thought each book would document one household, but I managed to get a couple of the last 2 households into the 5th book.
Okay. Is that I've seen 7 books, I think, on Amazon. Is it 2 of them? Are they split off?
No, it's actually 5 books, but there are other short. It's a runoff from the main books.
Right.
Yeah, they're short stories.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask about the name of the book? So you call it a memoir by the name Young. Well, where does that come from? Is that a rhyme with your surname?
Well, my last name is Yong. Yang, not Yang, Yong, Yoong. Because all Chinese their middle name are all the same. In my family, all my brothers are called Cheng. Cheng in Chinese means gentle. So my eldest brother was Cheng Chu, which means gentleman. My second brother was Cheng Yan, which means excellence, a gentleman that's an excellent gentleman. My name was Cheng Yong, which means gentle and brave. So when I was in boarding school, none of the boys could pronounce Yong, so I became Yang. It was a mispronunciation. I became Yang.
Okay. Which boarding school were you at in England?
That's a good question, because in my books, I changed the names of the
Ah.
school
Okay.
because I don't want to get into trouble,
Yeah.
if I reveal the actual name. But
Yeah.
I suppose if you do a bit of scouting around, you probably will be able to figure out which one it is.
Okay. Yeah. Protecting the innocent.
Right.
Okay.
I don't want to be sued for defamation.
Ah, got you. Got you. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And the books actually are documenting my experience in the harems. It's not an expose of what went on, during that period.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah.
Certainly sound very interesting. Anyway, no, I haven't read any of them yet, but they certainly sound like it'd be well worth the read.
Yeah.
It's very risque.
Yeah. Is it for adults? This is aimed at adults purely, 18 plus.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Because they are quite explicit, sexy, sex
Based,
scene,
if you like, yeah, scenes
in it.
Yeah.
But they're not vulgar.
Okay.
They're very well. Well, I think it's very well put together without the mention of phallus or anything like that. Yeah.
You can see behind me some of the awards that your work has won on the display. Yeah, on there. Yes, there's 7. Well, there's 5 complete novels in this. Is that the complete story now, or is there another chapter you're working on?
No,
Another volume?
actually, well, I finished the 5 books because before COVID hit, my literary agent had a British producer lined up to make a movie of it.
Wow.
Of the first book. But after COVID, and due to his health, he dropped the project.
Wow.
So my agent is currently launching another campaign to locate another producer for the series.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. That was actually one of the next questions. I was going to say, is there any sign of a TV or a film deal or a Netflix series? But yeah, it's obviously something you're looking into and investigating.
Yeah. If you know of anyone, let me know and I'll get them to contact them.
Can we get a commission?
Of course.
Bernard, can you tell us how you connected with your agents and your publisher, Solstice Publishing?
Yes.
Was this a long journey?
It was. When I first started writing, I was self-published, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It was like, the blind leading the blind. I've never published any books before. I've written books, but they were more for teaching materials. When I was a professor in fashion, I was writing fashion related history of costumes, that kind of stuff, which was only used for teaching, but never published any novels or biography or anything. So I started scouting around and soliciting people that I thought might be that would connect me to a literary agent. And after a year of scouting around and being rejected by, I think, at least about 200 publisher or agents, I finally got a response from Gilbert Literary Service, and they are based in New Zealand, and they are a pretty established agency, which also gets authors' books to be made into movies as well.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was kind of lucky in that aspect. And it was Amarantia, the owner of the Gilbert literary agent, that hooked me up with Solstice Publishing.
Okay.
Because I wanted a traditional publisher. Since I didn't know, it's like a minefield if you're doing it on your own.
Yeah.
So I want, even though I have to pay commission to the publisher as well as the agent, it was well worth it, I thought.
So why did it end up? I don't think I missed it. Why did you end up picking a publisher from New Zealand?
She was the only one that came back to me.
It's fair enough. I just wasn't sure because you've lived in a variety of places, many diverse places. And I would have thought it would have been one of the bigger places you'd stayed and lived at for a long time, like London or whatever. But no, it's not important.
But I think nowadays with the internet,
as long as it works for you, and
it doesn't really matter where you are located.
Yeah, true.
You can work from anywhere and be international.
What about the book covers? Who designed them? Did you do them yourself?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling you may have done. No?
No, I had a book designer to work with me on the covers. Again, it was my husband, Walter, was really the one that spearheaded me to do everything more professionally, because he said that with a nice cover, you'll probably be able to draw more attention to your books than just a mediocre cover. That's when we started looking for book designers.
Okay.
So I managed to find this girl that I liked her work, and that's how it happened.
I think they look superb. Can I just go back to your writing? Did you have many years did you keep a diary during this period when the novels are set?
Yes, I had a lot of photographs of that period. I also kept diaries and journals of my travels and stuff. So a lot of them I refer to. Actually, it's more on the photos than the journals, because the photos brings back a lot more. As you know, a picture tells 1,000 words, much more than words itself. So yeah, it's mainly from old photographs.
Bernard, you've completed that series. Are you working on a new writing project now?
No, and until I actually am able to get the books made into a movie, then I will probably write Life After a Harem Boy Saga.
Okay.
Which would then be my professional life after the experiences that I've had in the harems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you actually written the film script, or you leave that for?
I wrote the first draft of it. Because a lot of times my agent tells me that the producer will look at the first draft, but then he'll change everything anyway. Because they have their own script writers and screen writers. So the script that I have is just a basic script to tantalize them. To
pitch.
Pitch. A hook.
Okay.
Line.
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, isn't it? To get them interested, and then they adapt it for TV or for film or cinema. Yeah. Yeah.
It would
yeah.
be better if it's adapted to TV miniseries, because I think it holds a better base as a TV series rather than a. And
There's a lot of detail in there, isn't there, as well? So you'd struggle to cram it all into a film, I would have
True, yeah.
thought as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. So when you're writing your books and when you're doing all your prep work, do you have a routine? Do you have a set time per day where you sit down and write, or do you just write when it comes to you? Do you have a time allowance here or a word count per day?
It's a full-time job. It took me 8 years to write the 5 books, and I'm very disciplined. When I'm set on doing a project, I sit down 8 to 10 hours per day and write. I'm lucky because my husband does all the housework. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I don't have to. All I do is just concentrate on doing what is at hand. So I'm very lucky in that aspect.
Yeah.
What an easy life you've got.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it must be difficult to write for that long. I would have thought. I don't know. You concentrate for that long personally, but wow.
Well, I mean, I do get up to go to the washroom.
That's good. Have you got a writing room, a retreat? Is this your studio that we can see behind you? Is this where you do your writing?
Studio.
Yeah.
Well, I have my writing desk.
Yeah.
This is when I wrote these 5 books. I wrote them on Maui. It wasn't done in Orlando.
Yeah.
We just moved here 9 months ago. So the books were written. I think the first book I started in 2011.
Yeah.
And it took me to 2017 or.
I've got the dates. I'm looking at the dates now. The first one was published 2013, and the last one, Metonia, 2018.
Right. Yeah. So it was a full-time job for that 8-year period.
Yeah.
So it probably took you on average just over a year a book, did it, or about a year a book?
Yes,
right.
About a year a book.
Yeah.
Because that includes editing. Because I have to, although I have photographs as a backdrop, to spearhead my writing, I had to do a lot of research, because I need to be sure that the time period that I'm talking about, social things are happening during that period, or political things are happening during that period. So it has to relate to what I'm talking about, you know.
Make it accurate.
Yeah, that makes some sense, because I was going to think, I was thinking you probably don't need to do much research because you know exactly what you're talking about, but you've got to set the scene, haven't you? So you've got to do research from that time, set the context. Yeah, of course, makes sense. Yeah.
Well, on the commercial side of things, I know you're with a traditional publisher, and we've connected on Twitter. Are you using other social media platforms to get your work out there?
I think Twitter is the main source that I use. I do Facebook as well, but Facebook is more for social events and stuff. I don't know. I just find that Twitter is the best. I'm looking into TikTok. I think TikTok is a good source for book sales as well.
We've heard that, yeah. People get like 1 billion views and things, and there's a particular section within TikTok for writers, which to be honest, I've never even looked at.
I've never used it, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Good luck. I tried for an hour. I thought, no, it's not for me.
If someone was to come to you for the first time, or say for the first time they wanted to write a book, and they approached you, what advice would you give them on the best approach to writing a book?
The best advice probably I could say is be diligent and write what is in your mind. Because once you have the first draft, you can then edit it, pick and choose, you know, what is what is suitable to put in, what you can discard, you know, because I know some writers are they repeat themselves, you know, so if you do a first draft and you find that things are repetitious, then you can start deleting stuff and be more focused on what you're trying to say. Because I think to me, a good book is that it carries you through without being repetitious. You have to say it once and that's enough. You don't have to say it 10 times of the same thing, you know, and the readers will be bored. So I think editing is very important. Like when I write a chapter, I edit it at least 10 times before I'm happy with it. Even after the 10th time, I will still get an editor to look through the whole thing and re-edit what I have edited. And sometimes a different point of view is good because then it gives you a more focused perspective on what you are trying to say.
Fresh pair of eyes.
Yeah, a fresh pair of eyes is good. Because sometimes when you're a writer, you tend to think, oh, you know everything, you know, what you're saying is the best work you have produced. But I think 80% of the time, that is not true.
That's excellent advice for a new writer. Bernard, can I say thank you very much? It's been an absolute delight to be able to chat with you. And let's keep in touch.
Yes, please do.
Good. And we've connected on Facebook as well. You accepted my friend's request or so.
Yeah.
Thanks for
like
that.
I said, my Facebook page is mainly my social events that I go to. Because we go to a lot of social events here. You know, like the ballet, the opera, the Philharmonic. We are very active in the performing arts. So, and also in the art scene as well. So, so you see lots of fancy clothes that I wear.
Saw that. Some beautiful designs.
Yeah.
Excellent. Brilliant.
But for now, Bernard, we'll say thank you, and let's chat again when the film is released, or when the television series is released, rather.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.